I'm Benjamin, and I need to recount a chilling tale, a story that unfolded within the shadowed walls of Greymore Manor, where horror and mystery intertwined in ways that defy explanation. Greymore Manor had stood for centuries, a looming, brooding presence in the heart of the countryside. As the last living heir, I had inherited this ancestral home, its history steeped in whispers of tragedy and dark secrets. Upon my arrival, I was greeted by the mansion's aged caretaker, Mr. Wainwright, whose sunken eyes held a hint of unease. He warned me of the unnatural occurrences that plagued Greymore and urged me to leave while I still could. But the lure of uncovering the truth behind the family legends was irresistible. I decided to stay, thinking Mr. Wainwright's tales were mere superstition. Little did I know, I was about to unravel a mystery beyond my wildest nightmares. One frigid autumn night, as I roamed the mansion's dimly lit hallways, I heard the faint strains of haunting music echoing through the corridors. The ethereal melody seemed to beckon me, its melancholic notes pulling at the very strings of my soul. I followed the music to a locked room on the third floor, an old study that had remained untouched for generations. I fumbled with the key and swung the door open, revealing a scene frozen in time. Inside, a grand piano stood in the center of the room, bathed in the soft glow of an otherworldly light. The music played on its own, the keys moving as if guided by invisible hands. My heart pounded as I watched in awe and terror, and then, I saw her, a young woman in an antique gown, her eyes hollow, her skin as pale as moonlight. She sat at the piano, her fingers gliding across the keys with unnatural grace. The melody grew more mournful, more haunting, and her voice joined in, a wordless, spectral lament. I knew not how long I stood there, trapped in the mesmerizing performance. But when the last note faded, the woman turned to me, her eyes piercing my very soul. She whispered a name I had never heard before, yet it sent shivers down my spine. Isabella. The room grew cold, and the light flickered and died. Isabella's form dissolved into the shadows, leaving me alone in the darkness. Fear clawed at my heart as I stumbled out of the room and slammed the door shut. I couldn't explain what I had witnessed. Was it a ghost, a hallucination, or something more sinister? I couldn't deny the unease that settled over Greymore Manor like a heavy fog. Determined to uncover the truth, I delved into the family archives, hoping to find some mention of Isabella. What I discovered sent a chill down my spine. Isabella had been a gifted pianist, beloved by the townsfolk, until she vanished without a trace one fateful night in 1823. The mystery deepened when I stumbled upon a journal kept by my great-great-grandfather, Edgar Greymore. He wrote of a forbidden love between Isabella and a servant named Samuel, a love that had been met with the wrath of the Greymore family. The final entry in the journal spoke of a sinister ritual, the family's desperate attempt to sever the bond between Isabella and Samuel. It involved dark incantations and a cursed melody that would bind Isabella's soul to the mansion for eternity. My heart raced as I realized the truth. The haunting melody I had heard was the very curse that had trapped Isabella's spirit within Greymore Manor. Determined to free her, I returned to the locked room. I played the cursed melody on the grand piano, the notes resonating with the same mournful lament I had heard before. The room grew colder, and Isabella materialized once more. As I played, tears welled in her eyes, and her spectral form began to dissipate. The curse was breaking, and Isabella's soul was finally finding release. She smiled at me, her gratitude palpable, and with a final, whispered, "Thank you," she vanished into the ether. The room fell silent, and the light returned to its natural state. Greymore Manor seemed to exhale, as if a heavy weight had been lifted. The haunting ceased, and the mansion, once shrouded in mystery and terror, became a place of quiet tranquility. Mr. Wainwright, upon hearing of the events, smiled knowingly. He had been the guardian of the secret for years, and he whispered that the curse had finally been broken. Greymore Manor was no longer a place of fear, but a testament to love's enduring power. The memory of Isabella, and her haunting melody, would live on in the family's history, a reminder of the mysteries that could be uncovered within the darkest recesses of our past.